Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. Today I am going to make how to make the RESTful API using Laravel 10. How to implement the RESTful API very easily. So let's create the project. So I'm going to go to my G drive. I'm going to make this folder as Laravel API. Right. Inside this folder, first I'm going to install the project. Right, so how to install the Laravel 10 project? You have to type composer create project Laravel. I have given the project name as LBS, right? LBS, right? So here you will be go to the Laravel official website. You can find the Laravel 10 installation, right? So you will be able to find, if you want to go to the Laravel documentation, you will be able to find it, right? So it's a documentation. That here you will be able to see the Laravel 10 installation. Here you will be find the same thing I have to install. Here only I have changed the name of the project as LBS app, right? That's the thing I have given is. So let's install the Laravel project. So how to install them? Here this is the command where you can type on your terminal. So let's type the command. So type composer create project Laravel / Laravel LBS app. Press enter key on your keyboard. You have to wait until the project creating successfully. Okay, you have to wait your project installation. Right now you have to wait until the installation completed. Now the Laravel project installation has been completed successfully. Now let's configure the database connection. So here I'm going to type code. I'm going to go to open my project. Here it is a project. I go inside this project. Here type cd LBS app. After that, you have to write code space dot, and we have to open the entire project into VS Code editor here. Now I'm going to run the project. So how to run the project over here? Type open up the new terminal window. You have type PHP artisan serve. You have type by the command PHP artisan serve. Right, you this port. You just copy this. You have to open up the browser and paste on over here and press enter key on your keyboard. This is the dashboard of Laravel 10. This is the dashboard of Laravel 10 has been working successfully. Now what I'm going to do is, let's go to the documentation. The first step, I'm going to migrate the project. So before migrate the project, I'm going to create the database first. So I'm going to create the database. So I'm going to open up my XAMPP. But XAMPP, if you are not installed the XAMPP server, you have must install the XAMPP server. You have to open up. You have to connect start. Right. If the port is running somewhere, your MySQL server is not running. Okay. So you have to go to the service. Right. If your MySQL service running somewhere else, so you have to stop them. So I have I already running on my Java server as well. So here this MySQL server, you have to stop it. Okay. This server you have to go to the service and stop the server, and you have to run it again. You no need to change the port and all. You just stop the port where your port is running. Now you can go click on this admin window here. It goes to your database window. I just copy this one and paste it over here. Now you will be able to access the MySQL dashboard. That MySQL dashboard. Here I'm going to create a database which has click new LBS. Click create. Database has been created successfully. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to my project window again, open up new terminal. Here I'm going to create a migration part. Go to more here, select this one. Here what I did here is, after database has been created, I'm going to migrate the tables, right? So before migrate the table, the data, this is the folder and file structure of your Laravel project. Here there will be the file which is a env. You click on this. Here you have to go to the MySQL database section here. Here where I have to configure my database. So here my database I have created as LBS. So I get LBS. This is the database I have created. You have to specify the database name over here. The default username and password while installing the XAMPP I have gave here is root is a username, password is blank. So you have to give here what's the username you gave while you installing the XAMPP. Right. This is the database configuration part. The database configuration part which is reside on the file which is a .env file. Right. Now file save all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my documentation again. I'm going to run the migration command to create the table. So copy this command back to my project, right click and paste it here. You have to type php artisan make migration create. Here you can see here, if it is a student, I have created the table which name is students, right? If it's an employees, you have to type the plural. Okay, that is the efficient way to create the table on Laravel. That's a plural letter. This is staffs, right? So whatever name. Okay, then we are okay. You have to create whatever table, products, right? Product details. So that's how we have create the name, which is plural. Right. Now press enter key on your keyboard. Now my migration part is done. Now let's go to my migration part is reside on the file which is a database. Inside the database there's a migration. Inside the migration there is a separate file which has been created which is a migration table. Right. So here I have to create the tables. So here create table. So what are the columns you have specified? These three columns I have to specify the columns. Right, this table string name. After that, this one should be our string. Second is a string. Third one is a string. Okay, so string means we don't need to validate any validation part, so that I have to keep this string phone number as string. This nullable. Okay, right. So here these are the three columns I am going to create. ID should be auto increment. It already there. We no need to add the ID. The rest of the column we have created ourselves. Name, address, and phone number. Right. Now let's file save all. You must save all this one. Okay, then now it will be applied. Okay, you have to save all. Okay, after you have to create this table, you have to save all. After that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the command php artisan migrate. Press enter key on the keyboard. Now you'll be able to see here the table has been migrated successfully. Now let's go to the database. You can see here. Now here there's no tables found. Click on the structure. Here a newly created table will be created along with the column what the columns you have gave. Name, address, and phone number. Which column names are you gave already. It will be created according to the column what you gave. Right? Okay, what is the column you have gave according to the column? It will be created the called database tables. Columns will be created on the database table. Right. After that, you have to run the migration command to create the database table. Right. We have done so far. Migration part is successfully done. Now let's go to the controller section. Okay. Now we are going to create the controller which is a API controller. So let's go to my Laravel documentation. Okay. If you have to go to follow the Laravel documentation as well. Laravel 10 version, select the search. Here you have to type controller. Your controller. So all the control, we have typed control, all the controller function related, all the codes we will be able to see. Okay, the based on the controller function you will be able to view. Right. So you can go below, you can see how to here this one should be all the things controllers, right? So go to below, here this is a resource controller. I already talked about what is the resources controller. We can, when you implement the CRUD operation, all the we can easily implement this resource controller. Right. Now here, this is not a resources controller I am going to implement. This is resources controller API. So go below. You can go below. It's a photo implemented part. Go below here. This is the API. API resources controller. Okay, here this is the API. It's coming here API, right? Here this is a section. Here PHP artisan make controller photo controller API. Now you have to select here as student controller API. Okay, this is how you have to implement the API, right? So it will be simple. You have to mention how to implement the API here, right? Right. So here this all things here, the methods, the how to work with the API, all things are here they are implemented. Right. Now let's back to my documentation. Where you no need to coming here. Here I already told. Here I already written here. PHP artisan make controller student controller API. I just copy this code back to my VS Code editor, paste it over here. Sorry, I have wrongly pasted. So I just clear CLS clear. I wrongly paste the code. So this code, copy this the command, paste it, press enter key on the keyboard. Now the API is created successfully. You will be able to see where your API is created. Go app folder. Inside the app folder, there is a folder with HTTP controller. So controller, you type the your controller is there. Here it's a RESTful API controller here. Now you can see here there is a method syntax store show update destroy. The method has been created, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to the controller has been created successfully. I'm going to fetch the data from the database. We have to use the model. So we have to create a model. So how to create the model? After controller creation completed, we have to go with the model. Okay, the step by step I have written in this blog, you will be able to read. Okay, I have attached this link in my video description. You go along with the link and you will be able to get the idea. Okay, this is structure. So how to create the model? PHP artisan make model student. Right. We go back to here. I'm going to open up the terminal. It's a terminal, right? I already opened it. You type PHP artisan make model student. Okay, this is the singular. You don't type the plural. Okay, this is a singular. Okay, there is a, when you create the model, you have to create with the singular student. When you create the database tables, you have to create plural. You have to keep in your mind while you are creating. Press enter key on your keyboard. Now your model has been created. Go inside the model folder. There will be the file which is a student.php. Now here, what you're going to do is here these are the columns. I'm going to specify the column names. I just copy it, back it here, I paste it. Protected tables, which is a tables. Students is a table. You have to name this one as a students. Primary, which is a ID. I is a primary key. So ID, which is a primary key of the table. These are the fillable columns. What are the columns are there? Name, address, and phone. These are the columns you have created. Name, address, phone. These are defaultly created. The column we don't need this one. Okay, this is time and date and time, right? So here name, address, and phone. You have to go here, right? Okay, this 1 2 3 these three things are display automatically. Okay, this one we have to add the data, name, address, and phone number. You have to give here, right? Now file, save all, right? So this is the things we have to create the model, right? That's the thing we have to create the model, right? That's the thing you have to create the model, right? Now what I'm going to say after that, we have to make the route section. Route implementation, what you're going to do is here, I'm going to go to do the thing is here, go to my routes file. Routes, don't go here web.php, you have to go here API.php, this page, right? So here we have to interact with the API. Okay, not we have to go to interact with the web.php. You have to interact with the API. We have RESTful API. You have to interact with the RESTful API. So we have to write the RESTful API here. This is a stand we have to write route : API resource. Okay, this is not a this is the resource controller, but this is the API resource controller. So mention this API resources controller here. This is not a resource controller. Okay, this is the API resources controller. You have write it here. Slash student students class. You have written student class. It's called a student class. You have to here where your controller is resided. You have to given the path over here. My controller is resided on the this controller folder. So you write the path over here. You write where my controllers resided. A app folder inside the app for HTTP inside the controller folder inside the controller student controller. Right. Okay, that's how we have to given the path. Right. File save all. Now let's back to our application. Right. File save all. We have done it. So after that, this is our code snippet we have given to create a controller. So how the index method works and okay the resource when the request is coming via the API when the user is type students the API will be works, right? So how the API works, so we have to go to the controller. Route is passing to the controller first implemented the model because model is the part we are communicating with the database and fetch the data and back given to our controller, right? So you have to mention the path where your model is resided. Your model is resided. Use app models. Here you have to the path is to student. Right. Inside the model here. Models folder inside the models folder student. Students. So first you have to create the constructor. Right, it's a constructor. We have to create a constructor. How to write the constructor? First you have to create the variable as protect student. After that we have to create the constructor, public function construct. Here you have to variable, you have to create this variable. This is a new student, right? This is how we have create the object of the student. Okay, this is a model class. We have to create the object. Simply you have to create the object look like this. This is all the model data will be passed into this student. Okay, right. Now here simply we have to pass the index. Right, so how to pass the index? You write like this. Simply you write it here. Return this means the student all mean what are the data is resided into the database. All the things we will be able to view in this all. If you are giving the all, so all the data we will be able to view. This model, what are the data which will be consist of this model? Okay, this all the data fetch the data from the database, not all the data, and back to our controller, right? It passing to this model. What is the data? All the data it will load, right? It will be we will be able to view the API. After that, we have to store the data. So how to store the data over here? Let's do the thing is here. Right, let's do the thing is here the return this one. Return this student create what is the data it is required. Store mean we are checking the data into the Postman or any front end tools. The data is coming to the store function here. All the requests, get all the requests and store into the student object. So here student object we have created student. There's a method which is create. Okay, this record is created on the database. Very simple one line code. If you have finished only one line code here, index also one line code, store also one line code. If you implement the constructor, this is an efficient way to we are written the codes. Right. After third one is the show method. Show method how to we have to find the data. We will be able to find the data. So how to find the data? So we have to write it here. Show method. You have to write here. You have to create the variable student. The student object. There is a method find. What is the data ID is coming here? Okay, if you go to the Postman, will be tested. Okay, I'll be tested this in few minutes. Okay, you just understand what's the ID is coming here. It is passing the ID here. There will be the find method in our ORM tool in Laravel. It will be finding the record. The ID matching value will be displayed over here. Right. After the update method, how the update method works? It will be simple. Here, we have created the variable student. This student, what's the id is coming here along with the your values. What is the value you are updating, your change modification, this all the values are coming here along with the id. First we have to getting the id. Okay, it will be finding the database table based on the id, or according to the id finding the record. Okay, the matching id record will be finding. After that, what are the changes you have made here, it will be getting all the required changes here, and if you call the method which is update, record is updated, right, it will return the students, right. Okay, right, here we no need to write the json also here because we already implement the api, right? So here it will be generated. Now here, after the delete API, how the works is simply you try to implement that. You can see here, student this student find, you can write ID. Okay, what's the ID is coming here, get the ID, first find the ID. Okay, what's the row, it will be finding the row after return student, there is the delete method, it will be delete the entire row. Right, this is how we have achieved the CRUD operation in Laravel. Right, so let's save world. Right, so after that you have to go over here, your documentation, you can see that php artisan route list. First you have to get it here, otherwise you won't find the routes implementation, right. So here this is a clear route implemented, this is a standard where we have to implement the RESTful API. Okay, this is a standard RESTful API. Here how the post method works, if you are getting this how the API works. Okay, if you have to go to open your postman, oh, you have to go postman, otherwise you can go here, there will be the extension in VS Code editor also, there is an extension which is a Thunder client, you will be able to check. So if you are not familiar in the Thunder client, there are many users not of familiar in the Thunder client, so we have to, I have downloaded the postman. If you are not download the postman tool in your machine, you must download it. This one we have tested the front end part. So here what I'm going to do is here I'm going to first, this is the API. So first what's the port it will be running. So first the port, the support running server is running, this support 8080 port, right, copy this 8080 port. So here to port the port, first I'm going to add the record. So you have to add the record, it's clearly mentioned. First I'm going to post student API student. Okay, this is a API student. Okay, this is a API student because we are doing all things is a API. Okay, so we are doing the API. So here it's a API student. Here your route is in the API. So we have the API student. Okay, API student. Right. Okay, so API student. We have to make the body. Yeah, what I'm going to say body. So here we have just this all things we have just copy. I'm going to make this new one, new window. So write the post request. Here go to the body tag. Here I'm going to row. Here how to implement this one. Go to your model simply. This model, what are the columns are there? You just copy this all the columns. You have to in the JSON format. You have to open the bracket and close the bracket. Here you have to paste it over here. You have to write it here. Instead of the single quotation, you have to write the double quotation mark. This of the works. JSON format is work. You have to write like this. Simply you have to write like this. This is here. This is not a text. It's a JSON. Here it's changes as a JSON format. Now what I'm going to say here colon name I'm going to create as Jama, right? Jama. After that you have to comma. Address is at India, comma phone number 00 like this. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Click send button. Here your data is created successfully. Here your database is created successfully. You will be able to see in your database table. Here it will be created successfully. Okay. Now you will be able to understand how the API works. Right. When you send the data, of this API. How to find the API? Here, there. Here, PHP RSL route list. Here you will be able to find it. This is the standard way. Here, this is the post method. Okay, this is starting from here. Okay, so for the get, it's a get method, the post method. Okay, after that, it's a get method. We have check. Okay, so how to check? We have the method get method. So it's a none. You have to put it none. Send it. Here, this is the API form. Okay, it's getting the data out. Getting the data. You will be able to see here. You have written here. Return this student for. This up you have to add the data. Return this student. What's the data coming to your front end? If you are going to implement the post method, row this data, this all the data will be coming here. This request, get the all the data request. Here they are the call. We are calling the create method to add the data into our database. Right. I hope you can understand things. After that, we have to go to the show method. Right. Show method. Okay, so show method how to work. So this is the get method, post method. This is the show method here. Show method. So this is the API. You just copy this API back to my postman tool. You have to paste it over here. How the API works is here. Instead of like this, yes, student ID. This is student ID over here, right? So one. So get request. Get to post. Student ID. Right, here there is a problem. Here we have to write return. You forgot to return, that's why it will be not coming. So let's file save all. Right, so let's test it now. Get here, it's coming. Okay, here we have only one record, that's why it's not coming. If you are I have added only one record, so one it will be coming if you are give the return. Right. After that, update statement. So how the update statement works? Here there is the method which is a patch or put method. You can achieve the test. We are testing the put method. So the same request you just copy it. Put method back to my postman. You have to paste it over here. This is the ID one. I'm going to edit. So we have to change the method as put. Put method. The when ID is a gamma. I'm going to change this as a Nima India USA. Right. Now click send button. Now here record is updated as Gamma as Nima India as USA. How is easy to edit the record? Okay, so how is very easy. Very implemented. It is very easy to implement the API access in Laravel. Okay, right. I hope you can understand the things, right? So here, retrieve the values from the front end. Here, like this value along with the ID. This ID coming here. This request data is coming here, right? Get the ID. It will be finding the record which is based on the ID coming here, and you have get the data. Your modification will be updated all the things and return to the student records. Right. The same thing as a destroy method as which is a delete the record. So back here you just go where how the API works. The delete request this is a delete request. The same API here. Copy this. Here you put it here. Only you have changed it as a. Here you can change the delete method. You can delete API. Student ID is 1. So delete is 1. Okay. So we have got click delete. 1 minute it will delete it. Record is deleted. Now you can go and check it whether it's there. Student. Here no. There is no students are there. Okay, we have deleted the record. Okay, now here record all the records are deleted. Right. These are the API works, right? Get the ID here, get the ID and passing the ID, find the appropriate record in your database table and it pass into the variable. This variable called this delete method, delete the entire row. This how the value has been deleted. Okay. So here you can observe from here the APIs. Get, post, get here, get, put, all things here. This how the thing is works. This is the API. We have to we have to mark down this all the things. I have put into my blog as well. You have to mark down this one. This is how this works. Right. Thank you for watching. If you have a doubt, you can ask me anytime. So love my channel. Please try like me, subscribe me. Thanks for watching.